Alright, so this video is for the isometric of the guide. We just got done drawing it in multi-view, so we're going to go ahead and create the isometric. There's a few key dimensions that I need, so I'm going to go ahead and dimension this out. So I'll go ahead and go to my annotation tab. I'm going to go to dimension, and I need to know the width, which remember that's in the front view. I need to know the depth, which this is in the right or the top view, and I need to know the height. So that's going to be from here. And you can see all those are on the hidden layer, which is definitely not a good layer to have dimensions on. If that bothers you like it bothers me, you can change that. I can put those all in the dimension layer. And now we know our width, our height, and our depth to box this out. So this one I actually am going to start out boxing out. So I got to go to Object Snap, right click, go to my Object Snap settings, go to Snap and Grid, change it to Isometric Snap. Please do make sure that your Object Snap is turned on. If I click that, I no longer have any of the green boxes or anything like that, which makes things very difficult. So you can see a lot of that. If you have this off, your green box and things like that go away, which is not something that you want to do. The other thing I want to do is hit Ortho, F8. Ortho was on, now it says off, so I hit F8 again. Now Ortho is on, and I'm going to go ahead and start this. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line back. That's 3.25. Hit enter. I'm going to draw a line that's straight up, and the height of this we said was 1.75, and I'm going to draw my depth line, which is a line that's over 2 inches. Okay, you can see this is all still in the hidden layer. I'll go ahead and change this to the object layer, and you remember you have to do this twice, because if I go back here to layers, it's still on the hidden layer. So now I'm going to be drawing the object layer, so I won't have any issues. So these are the only three dimensions that I need to create my my 3D box. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest using just kind of intersections. So I'll draw that guy there, intersect those. I'll come back and trim those off in a bit. Draw this guy back there. Draw this guy straight up. Use this intersection right here to draw straight over, and use this intersection right here to draw straight back. And now I can trim all of those off. So I can trim that off, trim all those off, trim that, and delete that. And there is my three-dimensional box. So this piece right here is going to get cut out of this. That's how that's going to happen. So if you remember right, this went up a ½ an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and draw a line straight up. Okay, if your line doesn't go straight up, make sure you hit F5, 0.5, and then I'm going to come straight over. So it's going to look something like that. Trim off this and get rid of my little line that's a ½ an inch right there, and that is what that would look like right there. Okay, so that one looks pretty good, and now we've just got to do some stuff and figure out exactly what this would look like here. So you can see this is my ½ inch point. So right here I've got my ½ inch, and it starts to go up right here. So I might start creating that as well. So you know, maybe I want to come from the back and figure out the distance of this line right here, you know, and kind of see how this guy works out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out exactly where this guy is located. So if I look here, this is a ½ an inch over from this back corner. And you can also dimension up here. This will work as well. If you want to dimension like from here to here and find out that that's a ½ an inch, and then dimension from here to here, you can get all of these dimensions to kind of figure this out. So if I want to go from this back corner and go over ½ an inch and then come out in this direction, so this guy would be that's just this dimension right here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like this line should have been 1 3/4. So I can just draw a line out from that ½ an inch, 1.75. And then I've got to know the width of this guy. It looks like it was 1 inch. So 1, and then it comes back, and now I can trim this guy off. And so now you can see that box is there. I got to get rid of that single line right there. But anyway, my slotted hole is going to fit in this location right here. That's where my slotted hole is going to go. Okay. Some people want to draw a line from here to here, but you can see in the top view that doesn't really happen. All right. So this is actually going to come off to the side. It comes down a ½ an inch. We know that because 1, 2 boxes right here, and we projected this line and drew this line. It's where we got this line right here. If you wanted to measure from here to here, you would find that that's a ½ an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and do that same thing, where I draw a line straight down, 1/2 inch, and draw a line straight over in this direction. Okay, something along these lines right here. So I'll go ahead and get rid of this line, but that at least gives me a line. It gives me this line. I don't know exactly how far it goes yet, but I've got to kind of figure this out and see exactly where this goes. Okay, so we've got our flat area. This guy is going to come down here. So we've got our square. We've got this guy. We've just got to kind of make a connection and figure out where this guy goes. So we can go ahead and use our dimension tool to figure some of this out. So if I go to annotate and go to dimension, we can go ahead and figure this dimension out right here. From there to there, looks like 2 3/8. So if I come back to this line here and draw 2 3/8, then I can go ahead and figure that out. Okay, so down 1/2 inch over 2 3/8. 2-3 divided by 8. Enter, and it's going to look something like that. And so now what I can do is I can delete this line here, and I know that this line from here to here is going to project just like so, and I also know that it's going to project just like so from there to there. So that's going to look something like that. Okay, you need to do something similar on the other side, but it is a little bit different. I'll show you what that would look like when I trim this guy off, so it will look a little bit cleaner. TR, enter, enter. And one of the ways that you can make this easier on yourself is kind of by using ortho and just going straight across. This line is going to go straight across the entire width, or the entire depth, which remember is 2 inches. So it's going to look something like that. So now once I have my 2-inch line right there, I can connect those 2 points right there, and then I can connect these 2 points right here, and I can get rid of this line because I'm not going to need that line anymore. And now you wouldn't need this anymore, or you wouldn't need this line anymore, so I can delete that, and we're going to trim this line off as well. Okay. The only issue that you have here is this guy coming back here. You're going to need your slotted hole, but you wouldn't see this on this side right here. So that's going to be pretty much the only issue that we have trying to figure this out. So so we need to trim this guy off right here. And then the other issue is this would not make a corner because it's angled right here. So really what we need to do is we need to connect this point here to this point here, and now we can kind of trim both of these off, and that will clean up what that looks like, and it will look much cleaner. By the way, if you don't like trim, you can always grab the grip and just bring the grip down to there. That works as just the same. But that's what that would look like. Since it's angled the entire way down, it would not have a square corner right here. So we have to fix that as well. Okay, so this thing is essentially done with the exception of the slotted hole. So the first thing that we need to do is figure out where the slotted hole is. With what I've got left here, I do have a midpoint, which is good. I just have to draw a line forward that comes forward 1/2 inch, and then comes forward another 3/4 inch, I think is what we decided. The distance from here, 1, 2, 3 boxes. So the 1/2 inch and the 3/4. So this point right here is 1/2 inch from here. This point here is 3/4 inch from there, and that is going to be the center of my ISO circles. If you don't remember ISO circles, here they are. Make sure you go to axis end. When you click on that, you get the option for ISO circle. Hit I, enter, specify the center. Okay, it is going in the right direction. If yours is not, hit F5 and it will flip around. Okay, that is the right direction. I've got to hit D, enter, 0.5, enter, and it's going to look something like that. Same thing here. Oops, I didn't hit ISO circle. I, enter, snap right here, click, D, enter, 0.5, enter, and now I've got to draw my line from the I've got to draw my line to connect these guys out. Okay, so there's tangent right there. Tangent will work beautifully. I have tangent on. Tangent should work a-okay. That didn't work very well at all. So I'm going to try something different here. Let's see what other options we have here. Here's quadrant right here. The problem with quadrant is it's not really going to give us what we want. It's going to cut out some of the stuff. We'll try quadrant and we'll see if it will we'll see what this looks like. We may have to trim some of this stuff out. So we'll TR, enter. No, that's not going to look right. So we just have to find a way to connect these lines right here. And sometimes tangent will allow you to do this. So in this case, maybe what we can do is we can draw a line straight out and draw a line straight out, and do the same thing on this center. Draw a line straight out, draw a line straight out, and we're going to trim these off. Or you can just draw the line from the intersections from there, and you can go just past this and draw the line from the intersection, and you can go past this. And now you can delete this line, you can delete this line, and now you can trim off all the stuff that you don't need. TR, enter. I can trim that, I can trim that, I can trim that, I can trim that, and that is going to be my slotted hole. So a little more challenging right there, but we were still able to get it, and everything looks good. Okay. So again, one thing I want you to do, highlight this guy, scale it down to 1 to 2. So click scale, grab it right here. 1 divided by 2 or 0.5, either one works. Grab this guy, go to the move tool. We're going to move him. Remember, ortho is on, so I'm going to hit F8 to turn ortho off, and I'm going to put this right on top of here, and just set that on top of my construction lines. Remember, we have the construction line set not to print, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm going to get rid of some of these dimensions that I used here and clean these up. And I just want you to keep the basic overall width and depth and height dimension. Okay. Last but not least, I'm going to highlight this, Control C, Control V. That way I have the text over here, and I will be able to go ahead and set this. I'm going to kind of put this up here, double click this, and I'm going to change that word bracket to guide. So let's go ahead and type in guide, set to, and that is good. Okay, I can highlight all of this stuff here, go to move, and make sure you move all of this stuff together, because you don't want to lose where your parts are actually going through. You don't want to lose the glass box theory, where this line here is not even with that line there. Some things here happened where I need to put those on the construction layer, because all of this stuff over here should be on the construction layer. All of my 45-degree miter lines should be on the construction layer. Okay, I'm going to make one more video for you that shows you how to print, and we'll go from there. So we'll see you in that last video.